She wasn't just nearby. She was involved, and I can finally prove it. Candace Owens didn't stutter. She didn't blink. She didn't backtrack. On her latest live stream, now approaching 2.3 million views in under 24 hours, Candace dropped a nuclear claim that has torn the conservative influencer world to shreds. Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, was not only aware of the betrayal Candace suffered, she was a key player in making it happen, and the internet. Absolutely unhinged, because this isn't just some messy drama. Behind closed doors, this is the unraveling of a very carefully manufactured image. A perfect, curated Christian power couple who stood behind unity, faith, and sisterhood. Now, Candace says that image is a mask, a cover-up, and worse, a front for a targeted and coordinated takedown of her career and credibility. They pretended to support me while they were quietly removing me, one speaking slot at a time. And Erica. She smiled the whole way through it. She was never innocent. She was strategic. And just like that, conservative social media detonated. Instagram influencers started deleting their collabs with Erica. Reddit threads are swarming with timelines, receipts, and decoded live streams. Fans who once supported both women are being forced to pick sides in real time. But here's the question everyone is now screaming. What did Erica do? What secret meetings was she part of? What text threads does Candace have? And what proof is she about to unleash that could end the Kirk brand altogether? Because if what she's hinting at is real, we're not just talking about betrayal. We're talking conspiracy. Once upon a time, they were inseparable, Candace Owens and Erica Kirk. The photos were flawless. The brunches looked effortless. And the sisterhood preached from the podium at every Turning Point gala, prayer breakfast, and influencer panel. They were framed as the conservative power duo, rewriting what it meant to be faith-filled and fearless. But now, Candace says it was all a lie. Not a misunderstanding. Not a miscommunication. A manufactured strategic manipulation orchestrated by people Candace once called family and Erica. She wasn't just a bystander. She was, according to Candace, the woman in the war room. It all began in early 2022, right after Candace launched her Daily Wire show and started gaining traction as the voice of bold, unfiltered conservatism. Behind the scenes, though, something felt off. It started with small things. Erica would forget to tag me in collabs. She'd book her women's panels on the same weekend as mine. She'd post vague quotes like "Beware the loudest voices. They're often the most wounded." Candace brushed it off at first, but then the invitations started disappearing, one after another. Event postponed. Limited panel space. Trying a new direction. All from groups that had previously begged Candace to headline, and who was suddenly speaking in her place. Erica Kirk, armed with a rebranded image, soft colors, curated Bible quotes, and perfectly timed devotionals on femininity. Erica was rising, and Candace's visibility was shrinking. I didn't connect the dots until someone on the inside showed me the text thread. Candace says an anonymous TPUSA employee, we'll call her R, contacted her in 2023. The message? You're being phased out. Quietly, Erica is involved. And there's a Slack thread you need to see. What was in that thread? Chilling. It was labeled Image Shift, Q3 Strategy, one line. Highlighted in yellow, Candace equals too aggressive 4-panel expansion. Begins shifting platform image using EK Erica Kirk and ABV Ali Beth Stuckey as soft anchors. Another comment. Use grace language. Position Erica as gentle truth-teller alternative. They weren't just sidelining Candace. They were engineering her replacement. And Erica? She was in every thread, commenting, approving, even suggesting color palettes and themes too. Better contrast with Candace's tone. Candace didn't say a word publicly. Why? I thought maybe I was paranoid. Maybe this was just branding strategy, not personal. But then came the podcast. That's when I knew it was war. The podcast in question. An episode of Erica's show Midweek Moments featuring Allie Beth Stuckey, titled When Boldness Becomes Bitterness, The Timing. Exactly 1 week after Candace's now viral speech criticizing fake feminism in Christian spaces. Erica never said Candace's name, but she didn't have to. Every example matched. Every metaphor aligned. And the closing line. We must be wise enough to spot wolves dressed in conviction. Not everyone shouting truth is living it. Candace was done. She confronted Erica privately via voice note. You know what you're doing. Don't pretend otherwise. If you're going to take my place, at least have the courage to do it without playing holy. No response for 2 months. Erica went silent until the Turning Point Women's Gala, the event. Candace was mysteriously uninvited from after 3 years of keynoting. And who took her spot? Erica, standing center stage, delivering a speech titled, The Quiet Power of Women Who Don't Shout. The crowd applauded. The internet praised her graceful tone. But Candace's fans, they saw warfare dressed in white the same week. Erica posted a carousel of photos captioned, Let your gentleness be evident to all. Philippians 4:25. Hashtag faith over fame. Hashtag grace. First it was subtle, it was surgical, and it was intentional because behind the IG posts and pastel filters. Candace says Erica was actively pitching herself as the face of Christian conservatism for the post-Candace era. In leaked emails from a PR firm hired by Erica, her team referred to her as the soft reset of conservative femininity. A voice of calm in a loud culture, everything Candace isn't and everything brands prefer. Candace saw it all. She'd had enough. And then the final betrayal landed. An insider leak revealed Erica had held private Zoom calls with brand partners Candace had worked with, including Daily Grace Co. and Proverbs 31 Ministries, pitching herself as a more palatable long-term ambassador. That was it. She was smiling at me in group chats while building my replacement. Not in the shadows, right in front of me. And I was too loyal to see it. But now, Candace isn't loyal anymore. She's on fire. She's releasing receipts. She's dropping names. And she's calling Erica out by name for the very first time in her career. And yet, she still hasn't revealed the worst part. Because according to sources, Candace has a recording, a leaked voice memo, a conversation Erica never thought would be heard outside the walls of a planning call. And what Erica says in that voice note will destroy everything. The voice memo dropped at 2:17 a.m. No caption, no warning. Just a clip posted to a small anonymous X account with the words, "You said you wanted proof. Here it is." Candace reposted it. No commentary. No fire emoji. Just a cold, surgical caption. And you called me the wolf. The clip. Exactly 94 seconds long. A woman's voice, unmistakable. Fans began counting. Erica's follower count dropped 71,000 in under 2 days. Her Women of Truth tour postponed due to logistical issues. 2 former assistants allegedly quit, one DM'd Candace privately and gave her the backup logs from Erica's planning calendar. The calendar included names, dates, leaked memos labeled Candace Fatigue, Phase 2 Strategy, and color-coded optics notes on how to present Erica as restorative while Candace spirals. Restorative. They were playing psychological chess with someone's real-life reputation. But the best part? Candace hadn't even released her biggest card. On her live stream, she teased it. You think this memo is bad? Wait until you hear the group call. The one with Erica, Allie, and the man behind the curtain. You'll finally understand why they tried so hard to silence me. Now, Everyone was speculating who was the man. Was it Charlie? Was it a sponsor? Was it a well-known ministry leader tied to Erica's rise? Candace didn't say. Not yet. But she did post this. You can't build a brand on faith while weaponizing fear. You can't preach grace while manufacturing exile. And you sure as heaven can't bury me while standing on a stage I built. Meanwhile, Erica's camp is in crisis mode. One insider leaked that Erica's media advisor has quit. Another source says Erica is considering legal counsel. And yet another claims Erica privately messaged Candace to pray for unity. Candace left her on read because this isn't a misunderstanding. This is open war, and Candace's next move could burn the entire Kirk name to the ground. It was supposed to stay private. A planning call. 1 hour, 4 voices. Erica Kirk, Allie Beth Stuckey, a media strategist, and a final voice, one that sent the entire conservative internet into cardiac arrest when it leaked. Charlie Kirk, the file name. Soft rebrand cue to Meeting Confidential. It landed on a private Substack blog, anonymously uploaded, and verified through metadata, including screen recordings that proved it came from inside the Turning Point USA. Media archives, no watermark, no music, just cold raw scheming. It starts mid-discussion. Erica is speaking softly, methodically. We have the framework. I think we move Allie to the forefront for the academic voice, and I take the emotional front. That way, we surround Candace without confrontation. Let the audience choose between aggressive conviction or warm truth. Then Charlie chimes in, his voice. Corporate. The optics matter more than the content. Candace draws headlines, but not partnerships anymore. Too many calls from donors lately? They're nervous. Then the strategist adds, we have a 3-phase rollout plan. Start with parallel content. Remove her gradually from collaborations. And by fall, Erica becomes the brand-friendly counterbalance. And here comes a line that blows it all up. Charlie says she won't take the fall quietly. But if Erica's platform keeps growing, it'll look like a shift in audience preference, not sabotage. Candace was right. They didn't just edge her out. They gamed the entire system to erase her while smiling to her face. The file hits 2.4 million plays in 12 hours. X is trending. Hashtag Kirkgate. Hashtag faith fraud. Hashtag we stand with Candace. Comment sections are a wildfire. Charlie didn't just know, he led it. Erica isn't a victim. She was a co-founder of the takedown. Allie, Erica, Charlie. This was a conservative coup. But the real dagger? The timing of the call, May 22, 1 week after. Candace had just returned from maternity leave. She was prepping a relaunch series, planning a national tour, mapping out a children's book, and her team. Already mapping her exit. The audio continues. The strategist mentions a sponsor switch strategy, pushing Erica into Candace's former deals under the guise of evolving values and Erica. She doesn't hesitate. If we wait too long, the audience might question it. But if it's subtle and framed as mutual growth, we can pull it off. Then Charlie again. This isn't personal. It's business. Candace had a good run, but she peaked too soon. Time to think long-term. The coldness, the precision, the betrayal. And this wasn't a random group of petty influencers. This was an institution making decisions to remove a woman who refused to conform. So what does Candace do? She posts, "You tried to erase me in a room full of cowards. I built myself in front of the world. Now they know." Then she drops a teaser trailer for her new investigative series, The Quiet Knife. How they cancel without canceling. Episode 1. The planning call they never thought would leak. The episode promises hidden messages from Erica to brands. Pitching herself while Candace was on tour, Charlie's internal emails labeling Candace as unstable and unsustainable. Screenshots from brand boards swapping Candace's face out for Erica's months before. Candace was told she was no longer a fit. But here's the plot twist no one expected. One of Charlie's OWN employees flips an anonymous source. Verified by Candace's legal team, contacts her with documents.internal TPUSA memos, sponsorship slides, call transcripts, and the bombshell. There was a coordinated donor email campaign to starve Candace's funding unless she rebranded. Charlie approved it. Erica pushed it. And there's digital proof. That email campaign, titled Post-Candace Strategy, elevating new voices and Erica's name. Listed first, the document reads, "She aligns with our donors' tone, expectations, and presents less volatility for long-term partnerships." Volatility. You mean truth. Courage, backbone. The audience sees it now. This was never about grace. This was never about tone. It was about control. So what happens next? TPUSA. Radio silent. Charlie. No response. Erica. Still hiding behind Instagram devotionals and no comment press replies. But Candace, she's just getting started. She ends her video with this. "You think this was about me? Look around. Look at every woman who is told she was too much. Every creator who got blacklisted for being bold. Every conservative voice told to sit down and smile more. This wasn't just about my brand. This was about controlling the movement. You failed." Then she looks dead into the lens and says, "And now I'm taking it back." It was the fallout heard round the movement. Within 6 hours of the leaked group call, Candace's team uploaded a PDF file to her site titled, "The Receipts They Prayed Would Never Drop." It contained 37 pages of emails, 11 Slack threads, 3 event planning spreadsheets, and 1 shared doc called 2023 Women's Leadership. Rebrand target alignment strategy at the top of that doc. Approved by Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk Media Relations Lead. And just like that, the walls started collapsing, the industry exodus, BGNS the first to jump ship. Faith Found Me Apparel, one of Erica's cornerstone partners, Gone issued a brutal statement. "We stand with women who tell the truth even when it's not cute." Effective immediately, we are terminating our collaboration with Erica Kirk. Next, Anchor Mom Ministries Podcast Network. They had an entire spin-off show in development with Erica. Not anymore. Their public post read, "We will not remain silent in the face of betrayal." Masquerading as strategy. Erica's values no longer align with our mission. And then came the most savage one. Mama Bold, the faith-based speaker collective that once hosted Erica and Allie Beth on back-to-back panels. They didn't just pull out. They released screenshots of TikTok, mocking Candace's tone, calling her an exhausting archetype, saying she would be easy to eclipse once the optics shifted. Erica's own allies were turning, and it wasn't just business. Partners, collaborators turned COA less multiple. Women who once stood on stages beside Erica began speaking out. Rachel D., former co-panelist, "I stayed quiet because I didn't want drama, but I saw the document titles." The intentional exclusion, the grace language used to smother boldness. Ashley R., Christian content creator. "We were told to make room for Erica, not because she was better, but because she was softer." That's not leadership. That's manipulation. Tori M., a sponsor manager. The Erica Kirk brand CIOLAPS. Then came the collapse of her empire. One by one, Erica's upcoming Women of Worth retreat. Cancelled. Sponsors pulled out. Erica's devotional with Daily Grace Co. shelved indefinitely. Their email list was flooded with thousands of users threatening boycott her agent. Gone. A leaked resignation email read, "The brand no longer reflects the integrity we seek to represent." And what about TPUSA? Nothing, no statement, no apology. Just quiet edits to their website, slowly removing Erica's name from their women's leadership section. But Candace's fans noticed. Screenshotted every change. Posted side-by-sides with captions like, "You loved her until the truth came out. Now she's a ghost." Candace Owens, UNB, EOA, and Candace. She dropped episode 2 of her docu-series. It opened with a voiceover. "I didn't just survive the smear campaign. I exposed it. They built a stage for Erica to take my place. I turned it into a megaphone. And now the whole world knows who was sitting in the audience, pretending to clap." She included Fandy Ms. whistleblower testimonies. And then revealed something shocking. She was offered a $500,000 payment in late 2023 to quietly exit her faith-based media deals with a full NDA. She refused, and now the world knows. She ends the episode with a chilling quote. "They wanted me to disappear quietly. But I was never born for quiet. I was born to speak where others flinch, and I'll never apologize for that again." But one question remains. Erica is shattered. Charlie is buried in PR fallout. Allie is hiding behind Instagram verses, and this season is hard captions. But the movement? Still waiting on one thing, Candace's final play. The transcript she teased, the one Erica begged her not to release. The one that, according to multiple sources, names the secret male donor who bankrolled Erica's rebrand and greenlit the takedown strategy. And the rumors point to a name that, if true, would shatter more than just Erica's image. It would expose a full network of powerful men, manipulating faith-based femininity to control influence, silence critics, and redirect conservative power into the hands of a chosen few. Candace says it's coming, and when it does, this won't be a cancellation. This will be a mass unmasking. At exactly 7 p.m. EST, Candace Owens went live. No countdown. No intro music. Just one sentence plastered across the screen in white, bold letters. Let's talk about the man behind the curtain. The live broadcast. Titled simply, "The Name You Weren't Supposed to Know." And within minutes, over 1.6 million people were tuned in. Candace wasted no time. She held up a printed document. A donor agreement form. Signed and time-stamped with a name circled in red dot. And then she said it. "You want to know who bankrolled Erica's rise? Who paid for the media training? Who built the entire strategy to remove me and replace me with a sanitized, controllable face?" She flipped the paper around. Robert Hayes. The chat went silent for a beat, then exploded. "WAIT, who? Isn't that Charlie Kirk's top donor? The Robert Hayes." From the Liberty platform, "This is deeper than we thought." Yes, Robert Hayes, a multi-millionaire, a media mogul, and the shadow financier behind numerous conservative influencers, events, and campaigns. Most famously, he's been tied to funding Turning Point events, family-focused Christian podcasts, and influencer collectives like the Virtuous Voices Project, which just so happened to launch Erica Kirk as its flagship. Face Candace scrolled through leaked contracts, live on. Included in them, Erica's full rebrand pitch deck funding approval for her media strategist emails, where Erica forwarded Candace's old content, labeled too polarizing with notes like, "Let's avoid these optics going forward." But it gets worse, because Robert Hayes is Charlie Kirk's godfather. Boom! The real reason Candace was never going to win a behind-the-scenes power struggle. Because the very man who funded Erica's ascension also funded the foundation Charlie Kirk was built on. And here's the nuclear twist. Hayes' PR team drafted a letter months ago urging Candace's removal from shared platforms due to brand volatility, increasing backlash, and tone misalignment. It was sent to TPUSA, Faithcast, 3 major podcast networks. Candace's own agent BHITHN to her back. Candace looked directly into the camera. "You don't get to smile in my face while your godfather is paying to dismantle my name in rooms I'm not allowed to enter. That's not business. That's betrayal." The chat went feral. People started posting the phrase, "Rooms I'm not allowed in." As a rallying cry, it trended #1 on X, Candace. Then revealed one more email, the worst of them all, an email from Erica to Robert. After a joint prayer event with Candace, Candace's presence feels increasingly unstable. "I believe she's drifting out of alignment with the women we're trying to reach. If we're serious about reshaping this space, now's the time to phase her out. I'm ready." The date: 1 week before Candace was removed from a speaking engagement.